California dream for all? Kind of more like dream for a very few amount of people. Hey everybody, Doug Reynolds here, your Sacramento area realtor. This is your monthly update. I've been doing this for well over a decade now, doing monthly updates for you. And we are in April. Look at this weather. It's amazing outside. We are in the spring market here for sure. And so we're going to be talking about what happened in March with the stats and what's going on going into the spring market here. All right. So this is your update for Sacramento real estate, April and May 2023. Here we go. Let's talk about the stats. Listings published this month. Okay, there's at least more coming on the market. Still not a whole lot. So we had a little over 1,000 that came on the market in March. Hey, that was 13% more than came on in February. So good news as far as more, but not great news as far as buyers 700,000 and below. They're all kind of like, what is going on here? I don't have any houses to choose from. Okay, so if you look at year over year, I mean, that's almost half of the amount that came on the market at this time last year. So not much. We're seeing that lock-in effect where people have 3% mortgages. They don't want to put their house on the market because they don't want to move to a 6% mortgage. All right, listing inventory. This is what's available right now. A lot of those ones that came on, they got gobbled up. So we only have 879 active listings available in Sacramento real estate right now. That is down a bit from a month ago and down a bit from a year ago. It's to be expected as there's just not as much going on. Now pendings, those are moving in the higher direction. You would expect to see that at this time of year. As we're coming out of winter into spring, more sales start to happen. We're almost to 1,100 pendings right now. We're up about 8% from a month ago and down about 31% from a year ago. And that's because a year ago, mortgage rates were lower and more homes were available. So more stuff was going pending and going into pending sale. Number of closed escrows. That's also heading in the positive direction as far as volume goes. Obviously, we had a lot more closings in March than we did in February as we're starting to get into spring. So 906 closings in March. That was up almost 30% more than February, but down about 34% from a year ago. So more than we've had the last couple of months, but definitely less than a year ago. That obviously being due to the lack of inventory available for buyers. So months worth of inventory, we're back to only 1 month worth of inventory, essentially at the rate that we're selling homes. If we didn't put any new homes on the market, we would run out of homes available to sell in 1 month, okay? And the median price, it's basically right at $500,000 for the Sacramento area. 500,000, and that's down 10% from a year ago. So we've talked about this plenty. May 2022 was kind of the peak. And the second half of 2022 was very slow. Interest rates went up, buyers pulled back, and we had houses sitting on the market. We had prices trickling down. And once we got into kind of December, January of 2023, buyers started to come back to the market. Not much inventory out there. And we are seeing at 700,000 and below, just a lot of activity with buyers. Most of those properties are having multiple offers on them right now. Above that, it's a little bit different of a story. There's more inventory available there. There's a little more to choose from. There's not as much buyers going on in the 800 plus price range, but those are still selling as well too. It's just essentially we've got less buyers due to interest rates being higher. Some of them are just kind of waiting on the sidelines. They're saying, hey, I'm saving more money. I'm just keeping an eye on what's going on. My job's a little uncertain. So I'm going to kind of keep an eye. So there's less buyers right now, but there's also way less sellers. The lock-in effect is for real, for sure. We've got people at 3% mortgages and, they're like, hey, I would like to move up, buy a new home, whatever, but I don't want to move to a 6% mortgage. I don't want to move to 6.5% mortgage. So a large amount of homes that would normally be coming on the market at this time is not happening because of that lock-in effect due to the mortgage rates. Okay. So even though we don't have a ton of buyers, we've got enough because there's not much inventory. We are having a lot of competition in the 700,000-800,000 and below price point range for sure right now. Let's throw some gasoline on top of that, kind of smoldering fire. California Dream for All program. It was talked about for months and months and months. It came out and it lasted, I don't think it even made it 2 weeks. I've got one buyer for myself that made it in. They're getting the funds. They've got it, but it's dried up. It's gone. Pretty silly name, California Dream for All. Yeah, it was a dream for a very few amount of people. Those funds, there just wasn't enough limits on them. So, people in the Bay Area, LA, San Diego, they were able to use those funds as well too on really large purchases. And so a lot of money went towards that. It was just kind of spread out all over the spectrum. And I mean, definitely helpful as far as getting volume and getting things moving, but it was just a silly thing as far as it just went away so fast. There was so much talked about it and now it's just gone. So it basically took an already pretty tight market where there's not much to pick from, and it kind of gobbled up the rest of the stuff that was available. So right now I've got a few buyers that they're looking for stuff for right now, this weekend, the next few weeks, and they're just like, there's really nothing out there. So sit tight if you're a buyer. There's more coming, okay? I've got a number of sellers I'm working with right now. In the next couple of months, I'm gonna have a number of listings coming on the market myself. I know a lot of other agents that are doing the same thing as well too, so there's more coming. I wouldn't say it's some wave of inventory. It's not a ton, but there's more coming. So if you're a buyer right now, do the things we've talked about in the past. You need to make sure that you're working with a really good lender that's got you dialed in, documented everything already. You are ready to go on the loan side of things. You're working with a really good agent that knows what they're doing, has been doing it for a long time. They know how to write a really strong, good offer so that when you do find that property that you like and you want and you really want to go after it, you're going to get your offer accepted over the other 4 or 5 or 6 other offers, okay? That's on the ones that just pop up and they have a bunch of competition. But circle back. There are still some other properties that have been sitting. I just looked at one property today. It was on the market for 47 days. There's some that have been sitting. They're a little on the high side. Circle back to those. See if it's something that you're interested in. Possibly negotiate a little bit below where they're at. And that's another option as a buyer right now as well too. Additionally, if you're working with an agent that's been doing this for a long time, is in a really good office, I'm also always knowing about what's coming on the market. It's not on yet. And so that can be a helpful thing as well too if you're working with a really good agent, okay? So moving forward, that's what's gonna be going on at the beginning of spring here. Just pretty tight inventory. Just be ready, be prepared, make sure you've got a good lender, a good agent, you're ready to go, you know what you're doing, get educated, and be ready to step forward with your best foot, okay? All right, I hope you're enjoying this spring weather. It's amazing. Get outside, go on a walk, go for a hike, go for a bike ride, get some exercise, help your body, help your mind, be out there, be ready. I hope you're doing well. You can check out all my information at realestatewithdoug.com. If you're looking to buy or sell, I'd love for you to connect with me and we'll get you dialed in, get you ready to either have success as a seller or as a buyer. All right, I'll talk to you soon and clear skies.